Hi everyone, this is Eileen. I was going to show you today a simple project to make. This is a single earring with a single bead. And so for this project you would need the beads that you want to work with. These are 6mm bead. They usually come on a strand if you're buying them from like a craft store or at a gem show. That's how they come too. You would pick the ones that closely matches each other since they're earring pairs. Sometimes the patterns vary, sometimes the shades vary, so that's kind of the best way to do it with making earring pairs. The next thing you'll want to have is the ear wires, and these I prefer for most people. They're called fish hooks. Once someone puts them on their ear, they like to be able to squeeze them down a little bit in the back, and then they can also hold a stopper if they like to have that for more added security that the earrings won't come out. The other piece you'll need for this project is a head pin. You see how it's got this little flat piece on the bottom, and that stops the bead from falling off. It's also a super hard wire, and so it's a lot more durable than using like the soft wire wrap with. And then you'll need some kind of a tool that helps you make the loop and helps you cut. And so for most beginning projects, this one's a good tool to get. It's the 3-in-1 pliers. It has the cone-shaped pliers, so round nose pliers for making the loops, and it helps you pick something up if you use them like a plier. And it has this cutting piece right here in the middle. This is my original set of tools, my original tool. And so I've used it so much that the cutting part has a big notch in there. So I don't use it much more for cutting. I'll use other tools that I have to help me with this project. So let's get started. Here's the head pin. Let's start with that. You're going to load your bead on it. And then we'll make the loop. You want to measure enough wire on top of the bead. Excuse me, I'm going to switch the tools here so that you can have room to make the loop. And so this kind of the way I've gauged it is the length of my finger there on top of the bead plus a little bit extra. And so I'm going to cut it right there and take the piece off. It didn't cut very clearly. If that happens, just make sure it's a straight, even cut. So you might have a little bit of extra piece like that. And then you're going to take the round nose pliers, grab the end of your head pin, and you're going to use your wrist to twist to the right. Make sure you have a good grip on it. You're going to turn to the right. Excuse me, I'm going to move the camera over a little bit so I have room on the right. Then you take, actually, like how I just did, I just started a little bit of a curve, and then you're going to move your pliers and twist, keep moving your wrist to the right so that you make a little loop like this. And I like to clean it up, so now I'm going to put my pliers back in, and then I'm going to turn it to the left with my wrist so that it gets a little bit more finished, polished look on it. See how that worked? So we'll do that for the second one. So we take the other head pin and put your earring bead in there. And again, kind of measure a little bit longer than you need. And use your pliers to make that loop. Going to grab the end of it. And you're going to turn your wrist to the right. Just make enough of a loop so that you can take your pliers back out, grab it again, so that you can keep making that circle come all the way down. So, there you go. And then I'm going to come back out and go the opposite side. So now I have a little bit better finished project now. I'm going to use my flat nose pliers to kind of flatten that out, but you can see how that works. So now what we do is we attach them to the ear wire, and with the pre-made ear wires, they already have a loop on the end, so you just find the end of the wire, and you're going to move that the opposite, like how I moved the the pliers to make the loop for the head pin. It's kind of the same. You're going to do a twist of the wrist out that way. And then you'll slide your bead with the loop that you just made. And you're going to close the loop on the ear wire, going back again. And then I like to turn it a little bit and just squeeze. You can see that. Let me focus. Okay. Squeeze a little bit so that it closes that loop up. Sometimes, like with the silver-plated wire, it wants to release the tension that you just put on it. So then it looks like there's a gap. So there you go. There's a little ear wire. And you can do the same. Take a look at the loop that you just made on the head pin. And if you need to squeeze it a little bit, you can do that. Just it keeps moving on me here. Okay. Then we're going to make the second one the same way. And here pretty soon you're going to have a set of amethyst earrings to wear. This is a fun little project to do with kids too, if they have patience and are good with you know, being willing to try again if they don't like it, because this type of wire is pretty inexpensive, so it's fun to practice if you don't mind trying again if it doesn't work. All right, so now we have a pair of amethyst earrings. I'm fumble fingers today. And that's how you make a pair of earrings. Thank you for joining me.